Luke 18, verse 1, beginning with verse 1 and reading through verse 8, has some great commandments to us. It begins with the very beginning. Jesus telling a parable, and he tells us ahead of time the moral of the story and says, this is what I want this parable to teach you. Verse 1, 18, Luke 18. Now he was telling them a parable to show that at all times they ought to pray and not to lose heart, saying, in a certain city there was a judge who did not fear God and did not respect man. There was a widow in that city, and she kept coming to him, saying, give me legal protection from my opponent. For a while he was unwilling, but afterward he said to himself, even though I do not fear God nor respect man, yet because this widow bothers me, I will give her legal protection. Otherwise, by continually coming to me, she will wear me out. The Lord said, hear what the unrighteous judge said. Now, will not God bring about justice for his elect, his children, who cry to him day and night? And will he delay long over them? I tell you, he will bring about justice for them quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Some good instruction to us here first. We're to always pray. These are extensive words. Always pray. Never lose heart. Interesting here that the word lose heart means more than mere discouragement. Or, letting our hands hang down and getting kind of weak in our praying. It's a harder word. It literally means to act cowardly, to behave badly, to turn away, to stop praying, with the idea that I've not just grown tired, but I have a problem in trusting whether God will even hear me or if he's paying any attention to me. So this is worse. On the surface, lose heart seems, well, you just got discouraged. No, to become discouraged enough that I begin to stop praying and bringing things to the Lord is to really enter into unbelief and doubt and ultimately sin. So that's why the word originally means to do badly, to turn away, to cowardliness. So I'm to pray always and not lose heart. We know this. Jesus never tells us something that is irrelevant. So we know this. Why does he tell us always pray? Because we'll be tempted not to. Why does he tell us not to lose heart? Because the devil will work on us and lie to us that God's not listening to us. Nothing's happening. No answer to prayer is on the horizon. And all of that is, Jesus knows, we will be tempted through that to lose heart, to quit. I can't do it. I don't care how badly I want to. I can't. So he uses the illustration of this wicked judge and a widow. A widow, we need to remember, in that culture had no standing whatsoever. She could get no justice because she wasn't important. And so she decided to overcome the fact that she had no standing by her persistence. And she kept coming to him, coming to him, coming to him. The language is very interesting here. It's pretty strong. He said, I'm going to go ahead for pure selfish reasons. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to answer her petition. I'm going to grant it to her simply for my own good. She's driving me nuts. And then he uses a word. He said, by her continual coming to me, she will wear me out. Well, that's the translation here of New American Standard. You know what the word literally means? It means she will black my eye. It is a boxing term that comes from short punches to the face, specifically under your eyes. That's what the term literally means. It's not used. It's only used in other place by Paul, who said, I buffet my body and keep it under, lest after preaching to others I become a castaway. I resist temptation. He uses the same word there. He says, I buffet my own self to discipline my body, that lest I become an avenue to sinning. So it's an interesting word. He may also mean, I wonder if she might turn violent on me. So his reason then for granting her request is based on her persistence, but it's totally not just. It's just because she's driving him crazy and wants to get rid of her. Jesus then draws the distinction. Will not your Father in heaven listen to his children who cry to him day and night, asking for justice? Avenge us of our enemy. Now, that's a wide word. It doesn't just mean legal trouble I get in life. Somebody's mistreating me and unjustly, and I want him to get rid of it. It's far bigger than that. It is not only facing up to difficulties we'll all face in life and crises, but it's petitioning God for the grace to have the strength to go through it if he doesn't choose to immediately alleviate it. That's what's meant in the phrase that seems sometimes to be contradictory. He said, won't he take care of them speedily? Well, every one of us can point to things, my goodness, we've prayed for this for months, maybe years. Just seems like God's not listening to us. What does this mean then when he says, I will avenge them, I'll take care of them, I'll give them their petition quickly? It is in the bigger sense of, even though there may be a delay according to God's timing and his wisdom of knowing what's going on, there is never a delay in his presence, in his comfort, in his peace, in his grace to go through a delay if he does will it for us, if he knows better. His help is immediate. He never leaves me to go through a trough, a valley, that he isn't saying, listen, I know better, and so I'm willing that this go on for longer than you would prefer, but look, I will hold your hand, I'll say I'll help you, and when we come out of the end of this valley, you'll see why. It's like Psalms says, we went through fire and we went through water, but you, Lord, brought us out to a spacious place. You brought us out to good. So this is a great exhortation. Pray and not faint. And then it ends with a sad note, to be honest. It's discouraging in a sense, because the very last phrase is, but when the Son of Man returns, when Jesus returns, will he find faith on the earth? And the structure of the sentence there is literally this. When the Son of Man returns, Jesus is saying, when I come back, I'm not going to find faith on the earth, am I? That's a sad commentary that Jesus had to say about even his own people. Will I find the kind of faith that this widow had towards the unjust judge? And we, he's saying, have it better. We have a judge who's not unjust. We have a Father who hears us and loves us and is compassionate toward us. Shouldn't we have the kind of persistence and faith that widow had with an unjust judge? It's a great reminder to pray, keep trusting, and let God in his wisdom teach us patience, which very few of us want to sign up for that, but we have to. God will bless us if we do.